Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use, hands down, the best Windows artifact, no argument needed, Amcache. Amcache is a Hive file on the Windows system that can capture things like drivers loaded, plug and play devices like USBs and mices, and executed files. And the special thing about Amcache is the amount of information that it gives you is absolutely unreal for a PC check, and you can purely just check somebody using this artifact. Now let's get into it and show you guys how to use it and what you're going to use it for. First thing, go to the first link in the description to the Eric Zimmerman GitHub page. You guys want to download this Amcache parser, the one right at the top. Doesn't matter which one you click, I always click the right one because it has the most up-to-date .NET runtime, so I'm just going to click the one that's got the 9 .NET runtimes. Alright, now once you've installed it and extracted it, it should look something a bit like this. You want to go ahead and grab the directory, then you want to point to the directory inside of a command prompt. Then once you're here, you're going to want to take the exe, and then you're going to do space -f, and then you're going to put in there the root to Amcache. Now once you're here, you're going to want to output it in CSV, so you're going to do --CSV, and then you're going to want to just do it in the root directory, so just put a dot at the end. Now once it's finished, you're going to come up with all of these .csv files. So this is all of the information that we were able to get out of Amcache. The only ones we're going to be worried about is the device PNPs, the drive binaries, and the unassociated file entries. The other ones you can just delete for now, or you can keep them around. I'm just going to delete them for clarity. Now we're going to go ahead and download Timeline Explorer, also off of Eric Zimmerman's page. So if we just search up Timeline, it's going to be this one right here. I was at the 2.11. Then once you've installed it, then you can go ahead and open up your own Timeline Explorer.exe. Then once it's opened, you want to go ahead and navigate to the folder, grab these three, chuck them into the Timeline Explorer. Then I'm going to go through each of these folders and tell you what you're going to search. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the unassociated file entries. Now this is absolutely OP. This is the most overpowered artifact that I've ever seen in my life. So Amcache updates every single time you execute a PE file. It also updates when some tasks are ran as well. But in this case, the greatest thing about this artifact is the SHA-1 hashing. So this will log the SHA-1 hash for the executable that has been ran. So if we have a database of SHA-1 hashes, for example, if this is in our database as a cheat, we can go ahead and pop this in here, paste it in here, click enter, and then it will filter down all the Amcache entries and show the ones with the correct SHA-1 hash. This is also automated inside of my screen share tool, detect.ac, currently the best screen share tool on the market, catching bypasses, cheats, and even down to hardware components. Now you guys need to check it out in the third link in the description. This is the best screen share tool that I could possibly create for you guys and all of the current supporters. We have over 500 users now, guys. That's almost half of 1,000, sorry, over half 1,000. So let's go ahead and head into Amcache and why it is so great again. The next thing is, if you have the exact bytes of the file and how big it is, you can go over to the size and you can pop it in here. So for example, one of my cheats, I have the direct byte size for it. I can go ahead and pop it in here, click enter, and as you can see here, the full binary executable path comes up here. You guys can see this is my cheat right here. If we go ahead and execute it, we're going to see that this is my own Sunset client loader, as you guys can see here. So if you also have a database of file sizes, you can also search this up here. And as always, this is also automated in my screen share tool, detect.ac, the best scanner. And last but not least, we get a full path of all executed files in instance. So what we can go ahead and do is we can go ahead and grab all of these execution lists, grab these, then click Control C. We can go ahead and pop this over into a notepad, Control V them in here, and then save them into our own folder. And now we're going to run a paths parser on them, and then it will tell us all of these suspicious files that has been executed. So I create the folder SS1, rename it to paths, and save it inside of this directory. Next, we're going to go to the dedupe site, and we're going to go ahead and pop this in here. We're also going to click ignore capitals, click submit, and then we're going to get the amount remaining. We're going to go ahead and pop these back in here, then click Control S to save it, and then close this. Then we're going to go over to my good friend Spookman's GitHub. Then we're going to go over to the paths parser. Then we're going to go ahead and click releases. Then we're going to download the latest release into the SS1 folder right here. Once that's been completed, we're just going to run the paths parser on this one here. And now it's just going to start reading this and tell me any suspicious executables. This is a way to detect suspected DMAs and also if they've unplugged a device before the PC check. Go over to device PNPs and you want to filter by the key last write timestamp. then you can take a look at the most recently unplugged devices. So you can see here that I've unplugged quite a few USBs yesterday, that would have been, and you can take a look through and you can see that it's a USB. It starts with USB /, which is what it usually means. And also you can check to see if they've unplugged anything from their PCI slot by going to the key name, just popping in their PCI and clicking enter. You can see all of the PCI devices, what they are. So this can also be a check to see if somebody has tampered with their DMA or their PCIe slot donor board before the PC check. So this is a really great way to check to see if people have been tampering with it. And of course you have all of this information about the associated driver, so you can almost signature check these drivers using the paths parser. There's lots of different creative things you can do with this, definitely. And last thing is going to be the driver binary. So if they use a donor board like a DMA card or something of the sort, sometimes it will load a driver onto the system to assist with it. Or if it's going to be just a normal bypass and somebody's just using a normal kernel mode driver to run some type of execution or something of the sort, just leveraging that ring 0 permissions just to bypass a lot of PC checking tools, you can go ahead and just signature check all the drivers in here. However, you have to keep in mind that sometimes people do put fake signatures on these files, or they do manage to get their hands on a legitimate signature, as I am aware that foreign countries do batch sell these for very, very cheap. So all you would do is you would go over here. You don't need to use the paths parser for this one, but you just need to make sure you get ones that are signed. So you can click to get unsigned ones. As you can see, I have no unsigned drivers loaded onto my system. And the last thing is, if you pop this into the paths parser, it will use its own Java rules on it to try and find any suspicious drivers as well. So that was everything you need to know about Amcache. As I said, we automate all of this in Detect in the link in the description. You guys need to get this PC checking tool, or you need to come forward and use this in your network or server. We cover games like 5M, Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite. We're looking to come to Free Fire and lots of different games, guys. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.